Welcome to NRHEG, Secondary School Commencement Ceremony. My name is Dave Bunn, Secondary School Principal. May I present to you the class of 2020.
Welcome to Graduation 2020. It is indeed a privilege and honor to be part of the celebration as we recognize and celebrate the New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva class of 2020. We're glad to see everyone, even though we know there are many more who would like to attend in person. Thank you to all who are in attendance this evening and following the health and safety guidelines and expectations required of all of us. Graduation from high school is a significant time in the life of our graduates. It is a time that marks a tremendous accomplishment in not only the graduate's life, but also in the life of parents and families. Thank you to our parents for your support and encouragement you have provided for your graduate to make this evening possible. Thank you to our staff for their support and dedication to our graduates. I know many of them would like to be here tonight as well, but they understand the priority for our graduates and families to be present, given the restrictions we are having to operate within. We celebrate you today as well, staff, for your guidance, counsel, and care given to our graduates. Special recognition is given to teachers John Schultz and Frank Whitcomb, along with paraprofessional Judy Tweeton as they retire. Thank you to the three of them for their years of service to our students. For our graduates, graduation is a special moment in your life. After 4 more years of hard work and dedication to complete the necessary requirements to receive your diploma from NRHEG, graduation is a time to stop and reflect on your past, and at the same time plan for your future. Your graduation from NRHEG has prepared you for whatever you want to do. Anything is possible. Our graduates, parents, families, friends, teachers, and so many more will forever remember graduation 2020. Like most of us, our graduates have had to adapt to changes in their school and personal lives. Change that was sudden, swift, and uncertain. If there is a positive in all this for our graduates and all of us, it is having experienced firsthand how life events can change, and they had to figure out how to adapt to those changes in order to move forward, and they've done it very well. So congratulations, class of 2020. We're proud of you. Best wishes to you as you achieve your dreams and change the world. And now it's my privilege for me to introduce our Board of Education Chair, Mr. Rick Schultz.
On behalf of the Board of Education, welcome to commencement. Although we had all hoped for a more traditional celebration, as always, student, staff, and visitor safety remains our priority. It is a privilege being here this evening representing the Board of Education, as guidelines set forth by the Minnesota Department of Education have limited the number of attendees. Nearly 13 years ago, each of you started your educational journey. Throughout this journey, you were provided the tools and resources, along with qualified and caring staff, to do the best possible job of educating and preparing you for the future. Highlights brought to my attention in recent days include the kindergarten time capsule, Eagle Bluff, and many other activities the class of 2020 participated in. We are proud of the educational opportunity the district has provided you, but as you approach the finish line of your time at NRHEG, the class of 2020 had to become the educator. Each of you has taught this district to adjust to change, accept challenges, learn patience, and keep our eye on the goal. Class of 2020, on behalf of the NRHEG Board of Education, we thank you for everything you have taught us. Graduates, we are proud of you and wish you the very best as you move into the next phase of your life. Whatever you do and wherever you go, remember you will always be from NRHEG. Congratulations, class of 2020.
At this time, we will now have our student-selected speakers, Mia Williams, Marguerite Maloney, and John Hoelscher. Mia?
Dear class of 2020, I feel like there's something that should be addressed before I can give this grad speech. As many of you know, there are protests in our state and all across the US right now. I would like to take a moment of silence for that lives that have been lost and oppressed. Thank you. Now, I know these last few months haven't really gone to plan, but we did it. And I know we have waited years for this glorified celebration, but before you mourn what could have been, let's go back a few years. Do you remember what you wanted to be when you were in kindergarten? Do you remember what big dreams you had? Looking back on it now, it almost seems absurd to ask a 6-year-old what they wanted to do with the rest of their life. Some of us probably wanted to be doctors or astronauts, which might seem so ridiculous now. As it turns out, I wanted to be a dentist when I was younger. Now digging in people's mouths is not the top on my list. Do you remember how exciting the idea of school was? School was like a whole new world filled with unwanted naps, new friends, and snack time. Can I just say that nap time is wasted on the young, and whose idea was it to stop giving us snacks? We were forming some of our first friendships, all the while learning our ABCs. It's also crazy to imagine that we were in separate schools until 2nd grade when our little worlds collided. It was so exciting getting to meet all the new people all over again. And not to get political in the first few lines, but Ellendale kids were better. Not only did we get to have super awesome dance parties and extra computer time while the NRHEG or New Richland kids left, but we also knew the school better than the new kids. Of course, this all changed when we had to move to their domain, but by then I think we had decided we were friends for the most part. Not only did we make new friends, but we were influenced by some pretty great teachers as well. Shout out to Mrs. Ingle for teaching us about earning money, and then of course teaching us how to spend it all on other people's junk on auction day. Some of those auctions got pretty heated. This was also around the time of our biggest field trip of all time, Eagle Bluff. I would personally like to thank Hunter Knutson on behalf of the whole class for spraying the vents with Axe. If we didn't hate the smell of Axe before, we definitely did after that. It was at this point, our top dog status was taken away and we were reduced to the bottom of the food chain again, middle school. One of my fondest memories of middle school is from the 7th grade homecoming. We had just finished making our floats and it was time for some of the other fun festivities to begin. The egg toss. I was minding my own business when a stray egg happened to hit me in the face. The culprit, Jake Tasker. Supposedly, the best pitcher on the baseball team missed his target by a whole foot, and I happened to be in his way. Needless to say, the egg toss is no longer a homecoming activity, and I had to wash egg and blood off my face instead of enjoying the rest of the fun-filled day. Side note, Jake and I recently found out from our kindergarten time capsules that we have been dating for the last 12 years. Sadly, we have decided to end things, even though we didn't ever really remember starting anything. Once the dreaded middle school stage was over, we were in high school, making more memories than ever, from football games to speech meets. We were figuring ourselves out, and we still are. It seems like forever ago, we walked into the school as freshmen for the first time. We got our first taste of freedom sophomore year. Driving was such an exciting step, though I'm not sure all of us should have been given our license. Thank you, Derek Lee, for the busted taillight. It was a really nice touch and really pulled the whole new car look together. Remember all those years we begged for 2020? We wanted so badly to get out into the real world and be treated like adults. It felt like it couldn't come fast enough. Everyone tried to warn us it goes by quickly, but of course, we didn't believe them. And how could we when these past 4 years have felt so intentionally slow? Our last days together may not have gone to plan, and I'm sorry if you're feeling robbed, but look at everything we've gained from what we did get. Those 12 years weren't for nothing, as much as some of us might feel like they were. And for the teachers who got us here, thank you. I know you didn't want this to be how it ends for our class either. Thank you for all of your time and dedication to us. We haven't always been the kindest to you, and when we did want to show our appreciation, we were bad at it. I'm sure I speak for a lot of us when I say I wish we could have had our last few weeks with you. I will miss all of the teachers and friends that have changed my life along this long high school journey. I will miss the late night one-act practices, band shenanigans, and of course, I will miss all the random yelling and banging on lockers after lunch the most. We could look at this day as a loss and fuss over everything that we should have received, or we can look back on everything we did experience. We're not the same people as we were the first day we walked into school this year. We have grown so much, and we still have so much further to go. Thank you.
At this time, we will now have Marguerite Maloney. Please come forward.
Today, my heart is heavy because of the injustices people of color face in Minnesota and around the world. It feels almost impossible for me to celebrate this milestone in our lives when people are fighting to overcome hardships they face on a daily basis. Nevertheless, I'm here to speak today. As some of you know, the graduation speeches are often broken up into 3 categories: the past, present, and future. When speaking today, the easy way out would be for me to talk about COVID-19 and how we all feel cheated, and this isn't the way we wanted our senior year to end. But I'm not going to do that, because I believe our grade is more than what's happened to us in the last few months. Our grade is slightly different than those of previous years. We are a grade full of individuals. We've never been particularly close, and some even refer to us as non-joiners. It is true we've never been overeager to be in the spotlight. There are a few instances that may give you insight to the inner workings of our grade and how we differ from others. First off, our grade is smaller than most, only having 55 graduates, whereas the grades surrounding us have almost 80. It has always set us apart. My first story brings us back to the middle school spelling bee. Typically, there are 5 kids from every grade in the spelling bee. To become one of these 5, the entire grade takes a spelling test, and the 5 top scorers are welcome to compete. Now in our grade, 2 of the top 5 scorers declined to participate. So Mr. Domeyer went to the next top 2 scorers, but they too declined. He asked about 10 more kids, and everyone declined offers to participate in the spelling bee. So at the actual competition, our grade had fewer kids at the contest than others. For our grade, this is a common theme, and it'll be reshown during the following stories. Another time, there was an FFA assembly where the activities were pre-planned, and the week before the assembly took place, students in your grade could sign up for the activities and compete against other grades. I remember it being a race for the other grades to sign up. Everyone wanted to be part of the assembly activities, and they considered themselves lucky if they were. However, for our grade, we sat back and hoped other students would step up and fill the activities. Again, we had fewer kids participating than other grades. Now I could name example after example of how we, as a class of 2020, are independent thinkers. Our girls' basketball team went from 20 plus kids in 6th grade to 1 senior year. In general, our grade wasn't huge into sports. I'm not saying we didn't have talented athletes, because I know we did. But our grade was also well represented in other extracurricular activities. A stat that surprised yet amused me this year was that the activity or sport our grade was the most active in, meaning the number of participants, was knowledgeable, with 14 seniors on the team. With only 55 students in our grade, that is 25% of us. Knowledgeable is a competition of teams of 4 in academic and general knowledge questions. Trust me, this is no way a slam against knowledgeable, considering I've been on the team for the last 3 years, and is the one thing I'll miss about high school the most. I find it a perfect example of how our grade does not follow the status quo. Also, for any underclassmen out there listening, join Knowledgeable, because it actually is fun and you get to spend lots of time with Mrs. Boondorf. Anyways, I believe our uniqueness is an amazing thing, because in reality, not doing what everyone else has always done can be one of the hardest things to do. Let's be honest, peer pressure is a very real thing, especially during high school. But during the last 4 years, we have all explored everything our school has had to offer and found what we most enjoyed, whether that was a social norm or not. The class of 2020's individuality is what will set us apart from others in our futures. During high school, we have all gotten a good sense of who we are, and we've not been afraid to be that person. In our future careers, we will be able to stay true to who we are and make the right choices, even if they're not the easiest choice. Our of high school have shaped who we are today and turned us into the people we are graduating as. And without each other and those who have encouraged us, we would never turn into the people that we are graduating as. Lord Alfred Tennyson wrote, "I am a part of all that I have met." This simple line has so much meaning and complexity behind it. Every person you've ever interacted with has had an impact on you in some way or another. A person is composed of how human interaction has affected them, starting from the day they are born. Every decision you make is somehow affected by something that has previously happened to you. And in this way, every person is connected. Our grade has spent 4,760 hours together during high school. We have all shaped each other and will forever be part of one another. Our teachers have spent almost as much time with us. Every conversation, lecture, or lesson taught in class has shaped who we are. I want to thank our teachers who've had so much impact in our lives and have constantly been there for us, pushing us to succeed. Personally, I would like to thank Senora, Mrs. Boondorf, and Mr. Weber. In the last 4 years, you three have turned my least favorite subject, social sciences, into the center of my future career and goals. The amazing teachers in each of our lives have affected the core of who we are today and will forever be a part of us. I want to leave you all with Lord Alfred Tennyson's famous words one last time. "I am a part of all that I have met." Let those words be a lesson to you and your future. Remember where you came from and who has inspired you in your past, but also remember to treat everyone with kindness and respect, because you will impact others in the future as well. Appreciate your neighbor and their differences. Empathize and open your heart to hardships others have faced. Spread positivity and kindness to everyone you meet. Thank you.
All right, at this time, we will now have Mr. John Hoelscher.
What's poppin', gamers? All right. As of today, we are all officially done with high school, and the rest of our lives are entirely up to us. We went through a lot to get here, and I'm not just talking about this whole virus thing, but high school in general. We spent years coming to this place where we kind of knew everybody and everything, and it would just kind of stay the same, but now we are headed to the great unknown, where we decide what happens. In a few years from now, most of you will be in college learning about whatever you want to do with the rest of your life, whether it be being a teacher, doctor/nurse, or a water polo expert. But whatever it is, you'll be great at it. However, it won't come easy. In fact, most of it will be pretty challenging. You see, because life is like this dark tunnel. You don't always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but if you keep moving forward, you'll finally come to a better place. And when you reach that better place, you'll be great at it. I know you will. The people I'm graduating with this year, all of you, you all have the drive to achieve the things you want to do in life. And even, it's a bit of a cliche line, but just go out there and make your dreams come true. Work hard for them. When you work hard and you put all your effort into your goals for life, you'll reach them. But it all starts now. Every day, little by little, work on and get better at whatever you want to do. Because if you do, someday you'll look back on it and you'll thank yourself. You also think about the people the people you met and all the friends you made, and you'll feel, the friends you've made, and you'll miss it. But the feeling will be bittersweet because you'll realize that the people and friends that helped you, they helped you become the person you are now. Now, let me just say, change is scary. I personally am terrified of the future because I don't know how things are going to turn out, and I don't know what's going to happen. And it's those uncertainties that frighten me. But those uncertainties, they also give me hope because it makes it possible that it can be whatever I want it to be. And it gives me the ability to shape my future however I want it. And the future, it's bright for us. It's another cliche line, but it's the truth. If we just do what we've always done and persevere and push through the obstacles, we'll achieve greatness. In a couple of years, we will be the decision makers of the world. We'll be the ones helping the generations behind us grow and learn. And it'll be up to us to shape them into the people that someday can take the reins from us. So keep your head up. Whatever the future holds, for us, it isn't that bad. Just make it whatever you want it to be. When I was told I was going to be one of the lucky ones to give a speech for graduation, I couldn't wait. I was going to make it all silly and full of jokes, but when I started to write it, all I could think about is how much I'm going to miss you guys. I'm going to miss all the goofy antics we got into and all the great people I got to meet. But it's time for a new chapter in our lives. It all starts now. So happy graduation, class of 2020. I hope your future is exactly how you want it.
At this time, we will have a music selection by Alexandra Combs. She will sing a song entitled The Climb by Miley Cyrus.
I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaking, but I gotta keep trying. Gotta keep my head held high. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. The struggles I'm facing, the chances I'm taking, sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'm gonna remember most. Yeah, just gotta keep going. Keep strong, just keep pushing on, 'cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how
Thank you very much, Alexi. At this time, I would like Jana Domeyer. Please come forward for the parent appreciation.
Parents and guardians lead an important role in our lives. You are our first teachers and influence us from a young age. One of the first things you educate us about is right from wrong. You teach us the importance of kindness, compassion, and forgiveness. We learn countless life lessons from your continuous hard work and sacrifice. You always guide us in the right direction and have our best interests at heart, though we may not always recognize it. Your support and encouragement at our games, performances, and meets meant the world to us and pushed us to keep doing our best, even when the odds were not in our favor. You are a constant reminder of the love that surrounds us, despite sometimes feeling alone.
All right, Ms. Combs.
You have provided for us our whole lives and done so much to help us throughout our time in school. You tore the blankets off of our beds so we would wake up for school, and when we went back to sleep anyway and missed the bus, you drove us to school. You helped us with math when we were first learning fractions, and despite not knowing anything about trigonometry, you always did your best. You helped us to know the difference between there, and there, and proofread our English papers, even though you already had a long, busy day. You celebrated us when we came home with a good report card, and were a shoulder to cry on when we failed that big test. You gave us the tough love we needed when we ran into trouble, but always listened to our side of the story first. As graduates, we would not be where we are today without your guidance, support, and love. Thank you for all that you do.
At this time, it is my privilege to present the salutatorian for the class of 2020. Holly Steeney. Holly has earned a grade point average of 3.992. She will be attending Bethany College, majoring in broad field social studies. Holly has been very involved in activities while being a student here at NRHEG. Congratulations, Holly. A round of applause. And now at this time, I will present the co-valedictorians. It is my esteemed honor to present the co-valedictorians of the class of 2020. Jana Domeyer and Alexandra Combs both have a perfect 4.0 GPA. Jana will be attending Winona State University, majoring in music education. She too has been very, very active in lots of Panther activities throughout her high school year. Alexandra Combs, she too, as I mentioned, has a perfect 4.0. She has matriculated at Gustavus Adolphus, majoring in theater and minoring in music. She has been a wonderful presence in lots of activities here at NRHEG as well. So, at this time, one more round of applause for our co-valedictorians, Jana Domeyer and Alexandra Combs. Seniors, you have met the requirements of the state of Minnesota and NRHEG School District. Dr. Carlson, Board Chair Rick Schultz, by the authority vested in my position as secondary school principal of NRHEG, I certify that the members of the class of 2020 gathered at this ceremony will complete all requirements and are declared eligible to receive a diploma. Dr. Carlson, Board Chairman Rick Schultz, please join me as we recognize the class of 2020. And I will now turn it over to Miss Carly Wagner.
All right. Mikayla Kay Adams, Andrew Cory Bailey, Madeline Sabrina Broughton Anderson, Mackenzie Rose Butler, Destiny Ann Calderon Medrano, Katie Ann Cliff, Alexandra Lynn Combs, Madison Renae DenHerder, Addison Weston Deyle, Jana Emily Domeyer, Damon Mathew Eustice, Maya Ann Farr, Evan Michael Fell, Mason William Ferber, Agro Arthur Gouchois, John Harrison Hoelscher, Blake Christopher Ihrke, Emma Blue Hope Jameson, Angelie Ardis Jensen, Elizabeth Mackenzie Carl, Summer Patricia Kath, Paige Marie Knudsen, Hunter Stephen Knudsen, Grace Lorraine Kofstad, Dylan Herschel Konert, Madison Elizabeth Corman, Carter Preston Kazalik, Sydney Sherry Kazalik, Derek Allen Lee, Skylar Rae Lembke, Tiara Lynn Malakowski, Marguerite Elise Maloney, Cherish Christina Marks, Jade Autumn Mealy, Jenna Marie Nelson, Tanner Joe Oakwest, Paige Lyn Peterson, Annie Kate Priggy, Andrew Blaine Rich, Naomi Grace Ritalik, Aron Justice Rocha, Deborah Shaddai Rocha, Andre Joseph Rosevold Whistler, Sierra Rose Schumacher, Aracelis Del Carmen Sepulveda, Tristan Timothy Simon, Holly Ruth Steeney, Ethan Lee Stringy, Mackenzie Ray Sunvey, Jacob Ryan Tasker, Michaela Shatine Volley, Hope Elaine Van Wilgen, Mia Ann Williams, Lonnie Dwayne Wilson. Diamond Rose Woolard.
The diploma that you hold in your hands today is really just your learner's permit for the rest of the drive through life. Remember, you don't always have to be smarter than the next person. All you have to do is be willing to work harder than the next person. By Jimmy Levine. This is all great advice for us all. Just keep working harder than the rest. I want to thank you for attending and sharing in this celebration. At the conclusion here, we will have our fireworks, and I hope that you have a great commencement evening. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming. I understand this is maybe not how you pictured it, but I want you to know something. I am very proud of all the time and effort that all folks put in to putting this together to make it work. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been quite the experience and quite the journey. Class of 2020, I will miss you. And I'm not just saying that. I will miss you. Thank you for being good people. And now, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Hopefully the drone isn't going to hit me. Are you ready? All right, here it is. Class of 2020. You are now graduated.